So welcome guys, welcome back. We're out today for the UKIP demo in Bristol, starting at the Cenotaph here at 1 PM. But as you can see, the dirty left have taken over, and there's already been fights and arrests, and there's been a lot of action. So that's coming up in the video. You're going to enjoy it. It's pretty good. So yeah, I'm going to be covering this today. I'm going to be covering the march, Nick Tenconi, and yeah, hope you enjoy the video. Remember, please give us a like so it reaches more people, share the video if you can, and subscribe if you haven't. I really appreciate it. This is RBM. Enjoy the video.
Don't you start that shit with me. How about put it in? How about put it in for one?
What do I think of them?
What do you think?
Well, I was first here when they arrived. I asked for a civil dialogue. I said to them, I think we should go back to being a polite Britain as we used to be. We used to be known to queue everywhere, to have manners, but now we don't because of these people. Because they refuse to dialogue with someone who disagrees with them.
Look at that little pissant.
That's a Nazi salute! That's a Nazi salute!
That little pissant trying to act all tough. You want to stand big?
Fascist scum!
Stand big.
Nazi scum! Nazi scum! Nazi
Quite a nice town, actually.
That's when they were too late. Step back. Just twice before. Step back. You're antagonising.
Where's your demo gun, Hobbit man? Then you need to step back. Where's your demo gun? I can't hear you. Take your mask off. Take your mask off. Take it off. Take your mask off.
Just step back and just point antagonising me, is it?
What are you antagonising me?
You don't need Bristol. Fuck you, get out of here.
What are you hiding for? You still said your mum. You should be hiding ugly for.
Get out of here. Mate, what's under your hat? Take your hat off. Take your hat off.
Your mum.
Hey, take your hat off.
Did she take your hat off?
Take your hat off. Take your hat off.
You will see people that look like me there.
Watch your back, guys, okay?
We're going to get very close.
Just walking just that way, clear some space, if that's okay.
Can you not push me into the mud?
Can you just walk that way quickly? Thank you.
These guys might be in black. These guys are people on the right-wing side. All these aggression lines with this right-wing group here who are planning an attack. This right-wing group here who are planning an attack.
And listen to the voices that's in us all. Us English men, we need to stand together now because this is ridiculous. Look what's going on in our beautiful country. Our beautiful, beautiful country, guys. And we're allowing this to happen. What's wrong with you all?
What do you think?
You don't know what's going to happen in 10 years' time if this carries on. I know what's going to happen, boss, and trust me, I'm scared for my kids and my grandkids. Do you think our grandparents knew what was going to happen on the beaches when they were giving their lives? No. No, they had faith in the king, they had faith in the system, and we have been let down massively. I feel like I'm the only one passionate about my beautiful country. What is wrong with you all, man?
Well said.
I don't understand it, like. I don't understand it. There's not one British flag flying here. We all speak English, we're all British. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Well said.
Yeah. I can't, because I'm honest, none of you are saying a word. You're all got your mouth shut. You're flying to make Britain flag again. You've not said a word. I've been here for 10 minutes.
Yeah, mate.
What is wrong with you, lot?
It starts at 1.
No, it starts the minute they fucking started. That's when it started, guys.
I know, but that's
what's wrong with you? What's wrong with all of you? We're here. You're here, but so why am I doing the one vocal, bud? Why am I doing the one being vocal?
I can't answer that.
You got a pair of nuts. You got a pair of nuts. Grab your fucking nuts and tell them what's wrong.
I did when I served my country, mate. That's what I did.
Well, good man.
Right? So I've done that.
Man. Good man. What's wrong with you lot?
We're here, and that's what I know you're angry. I'm angry.
I'm not angry, bud. I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken because what is going on here? They're looking at us like we're the issue. I can't. I've got to take my kids somewhere. Like, I drove past and I see not one person standing up for our beautiful country. Like, this is ridiculous. They should be flying high above that fucking memorial. That's what they should be. Not them fucking flags.
Excuse me, pal, what's your name?
Ashley Coleman. My name's Ashley Coleman. I will die for my fucking country any day.
I agree with you completely, yeah.
Magic.
That was
a thumbnail, mate.
Oh, I missed it. So here we go, guys. We got Thomas here, also known as Young Bob.
Yes.
So, what do you think about this Antifa turnout?
Well,
What's
I think ironically the small little bite-sized things that they say, such as there are many more of us of you, that's true because they get bussed in. They say that this is our streets even though we can't see their faces, so we don't know who owns these streets, even though they believe in collectivism, the concept that it is our streets. And lastly, the sentiment that, like Hitler, we should unalive ourselves assumes that firstly, we're fascists, which I've read the entire UKIP manifesto. Nowhere would it even indicate we're ultra-authoritarian or ultra-nationalistic. Like, for example, it does allow within their manifesto refugees, but at net 1,000 status, because we understand that these people in France are in a safe country. So the sentiment is just being divisive for the sake of popularism, and they don't invite for a discussion. So, for example, I was over there...
Brilliant!
Towards the police, and they just keep on telling me to go unalive myself, which is ridiculous. So I think that the left is intentionally divisive, to which when we try to pick up the pieces, we're the ones that are prosecuted by the police.
Yeah, and that's what they do. Like, you know, they all call us far right and say, oh, we're violent, far right, this and that. But what really happens is it ends up being them, the left, that turn out with the violence. We've already seen today. There was violence. They tried stealing a phone. Lots got arrested. Pepper spray was out. So it's always them that are the troublemakers and kicking off, isn't that right?
Yeah, and that's just, so they make themselves their own enemy, so they make divisive political gains. then they complain when it is even more divisive on their end. And I think a lot of the time it's also that the fact they were young. So for myself, I'm an incredibly young person. They can't think logically, and they don't have the comprehension to understand proper political philosophy. So even the arbiters that they would claim, like Karl Marx, the proper lefties that they try to claim, firstly are anti-libertarians. They don't believe in freedom of religion, for example. Famously, Karl Marx in his philosophy, his refutation of Hegel's philosophy, says that religion is the opium of the masses. So he believed that religion should be void from our society, that things that are outside the nation's identity should be eradicated, so that he doesn't believe in freedom of movement or freedom of speech, even though they claim to be liberalising politics, which is ridiculous. It's a contradictory notation.
Exactly. Well said.
Yeah.
And thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Have a good day.
Cameraman, move to the left, please. Get out of the way.
So currently the police have been rounding up Antifa with dogs because a pack of Antifa went running around, possibly to ambush. So the police have been chasing after them with the dogs, and as you can see behind me, they're keeping an eye out. Currently Antifa are over there somewhere.
Tommy Robinson! Oh! Tommy Robinson! Big back now! Come on!
They were trying to punch someone in the face and they're like, we're old lady, to punch someone in the water. Yes they are. They're here to cause trouble, every single one of them. Look at them. They want to fight. Antifa are here to cause problems. Antifa are here to beat our people.
Back and forth.
So as you can see behind me, Antifa are still kicking off, still causing trouble. They're getting pushed out of the way. They've used the dogs to round them up so far. Now they're bringing in the horses. But they're just causing trouble and causing mayhem all over the place. And that's Antifa, that's the left for you.
These people are domestic terrorists and we do not want them in Britain!
Yes.
Time to start saying as it is and stop pandering to it and this libertarian nonsense that certain people creating new parties will peddle. We want them gone. These people vote for the Uni Party. These people protest when we are saying no to Pakistani paedophile rape grooming gangs. These people are demons. They are deviants. They want British blood being spilled. They delight in the British blood being spilled. They will not hesitate to kill us or lock us up. The police need our support. Culture runs downstream from politics. This all ends when we say it ends, patriots. Yep. Well done today. It's time to reclaim Britain. It's time to take our country back. There's only one Nick Tenconi. There's only one Nick Tenconi. Walking along, singing a song. Walking in the wonderland. There's only one Nick Tenconi. There's only one Nick Tenconi. Walking along, singing a song.
Walking in the length of Wonderland.
Look at the size of that.
That's what we want, you know?
Yours is bigger than mine, mate.
That is what we want.
It's got a nice ring to it, isn't it? What's the original song? It's a Winter Wonderland. I love it. We need to move to detain, deport, re-migrate. Detain, deport, re-migrate. We've got to start thinking up some songs, guys, on the right. We're terrible at it. So many politicians on the right will say this isn't about left versus right. I'm absolutely sick of it. Who is it who's transing our kids? Who is it who's voting in Starmer and giving him a mandate? Who is it who's marching for the terrorists? Which ideology is it that's captured the mainstream media and our institutions? Is it left or right ideology which created diversity, inclusion, equality, critical race theory, economic social governance? What ideology are the police following when they fly the pride and trans flag? Which ideology wants to destroy masculinity? Which ideology tells women to sacrifice motherhood and matrimony for a salary in a job she hates? What ideology fueled the BLM riots? What ideology motivates two-tier judges? What's the root cause of liberal narcissistic personality disorder? The I Hate Men campaign, toxic feminism, Stockholm syndrome and cognitive dissonance. What's the ideology fueling British hatred and the lying and deceit being taught about our history? What's the ideology behind political correctness, identity politics and the politicisation of taxpayer-funded services? This is about conservatism versus communism. This is about good versus evil. A man's faith and his political ideology go hand in hand and should be both defended at all costs. Enough lies. It is left-wing extremism that is the cancer that must be cut out. They want some, do they? They want a bit, do they?
Come on! Come on! Come on!
Guys, stop, Nick, back!
Directing you to stand out, because that's going to give you an breach of peace, alright? On both sorry about that.
No, smashed it.
I didn't mean to worry you, it's just me looking at you.
No, you're alright.
It's being Millwall.
Alright, good. Alright, let's go back.
Just wait there, just be really low profile and we'll get you out of here safely, alright?
You're going home! You are going home!
Yes!
Pleasure. Well done, guys. No, every area's been affected.
Yeah.
In the schools, you've got what's called Marxism, communism.
They tell us this is like they try telling us far right, there's racism and everything in my religion.
They're domestic terrorists.
I got attacked in London by the Palestinian protesters.
You got it.
So I went to football. I had an English flag on, and they were like throwing pyros at me.
You got it, mate.
Yeah.
They act with impunity. So if you're patriotic or conservative or Christian, they're coming, or masculine, they're coming for it. They want to shut you up, they want to shut you down. Now we got how old are you guys?
15.
So we got a real situation, because when I was 15, actually life was kind of cool in Britain. You know, give or take an inch. In the 90s, it was probably the last decade where it was kind of cool. You guys now, you're going to be shut. You're going to be shut down, you're going to be spoken down to, and you've got safety in numbers. You've got to stick together, and you've got to play it smart as well. You've got to box clever, because we're on the back foot, but we're taking our country back. So you make sure that, obviously, make sure your schooling and everything else like that comes first. Get a trade. If you're going to uni, make sure it's for a proper degree. If you're not, get a trade as early as possible, and just don't lose hope and don't lose heart either, guys. Yeah, because we are at war. It's taken 2 decades, literally, for the flip to switch. All sorts of enemies, but hopefully we're gonna take our country back.
If you believe in Britain, if you're proud to be British, If you love your country, and if you want your country back, get behind the banner. I have a little crowd over here. Citizens of Bristol, these people over here by the Cenotaph, they are domestic terrorists. These people over here, they are domestic terrorists. These people, they are domestic terrorists. They will be going home. Stand for justice, stand behind the banner. Get lost, get lost, get lost. You're a domestic terrorist. Do you want open borders? Do you want open borders?
There you go, where are you from? The left, they think they're so clever. No, seriously.
Seriously, do you want open borders? Last chance, do you want open borders?
See?
Domestic terrorist, why would you ever want open borders? Get lost. Zero tolerance is what's required going forward, guys. This all ends when we say it ends. We are winning! No matter how loud the left scream, our words are cutting through. You now have both Labour and Conservative trying to outcompete each other over how many people they can send home. This is a direct result of our work. It is a direct result of our campaigning. It is a direct result of the work of patriots up and down the country, standing up and saying, no, we want these people gone! They do not belong here! This is a major victory for us. We are winning. This is working. All we have to do, guys, is keep calm and carry on.
You need to grab a cop, mate, and deal with that right now. You need to get in there right now, mate.
Hundreds of officers here. There's officers here. If you won't deal with the fact that my phone's been stolen, they've assaulted me, and you kicked me out.
And as the police always do, they just walk away from a report. He's had his phone stolen and they just walk away.
They assaulted me, I had footage of them talking to me, and now everything's gone.
Have you demonstrated? Oh yeah, I've been stabbed up, you haven't done nothing,
Got to make sure that we behave for the left-wing terrorists. You see the eggs on the floor, guys?
Here they come.
What thoughts? Do your job! Do your job! Can you see this? You told me not to antagonise them! Do your job! Oh, now you do something!
Fucking mug!
Right, patriots, they've started to throw missiles, the police will let them get away with it, so everybody please start looking up in that direction, and if it comes near your head, please move to your side so it lands on the ground and not on your head. Okay. It's interesting, the police have just gotten so upset with me saying I'm antagonising. Look at the state of this. Heads up! Heads up! That's it, boys! Do your job! Do your job!
Do your job! Do your job!
Push! Push! Push!
Push!
Push! Push! Scrum down! No ball. Get your batons out! Get your batons out! Get your batons out! So can everybody please stay vigilant about what the domestic terrorists are going to throw, because they do eggs first to make you feel like you're safe, and then they switch to bottles of urine, glasses, and they will not hesitate to put sharp objects in these items as well. So can everybody stay vigilant, bearing in mind the sun is also pouring down this way. Right, that's it. Chill out. Let the police do their job, guys. Let the police do their job. Citizens of Bristol, as you can see, we are surrounded by the far left mob. They believe we are only here to demand, we are only here to demand mass deportations of illegals. They are wrong. When we will be sending the illegals home, we are also here today to march for the deportations of left-wing extremists. We want the communists gone. Whilst politicians and public servants and influencers on the right pontificate endlessly about the root cause of our downfall, we act, we inspire, we shift the needle. The truth is we have not gone far enough. It is time to detain and deport left-wing terrorists. These people want the collapse of society. These people want British blood to be spilt. They despise our values. They despise Christianity. They despise our political ideology. They wouldn't hesitate to kill us or to lock us up. These people started the culture war. It is their narcissism, their hatred of Christianity, their hatred of the family, their sick, twisted ideology of Marxism that creates these far left nests that turn our former glorious towns and cities into no-go zones. Detain and deport the illegals. Detain and deport the migrants who have trashed our culture and our faith, and send the communists home with them. I tell you another thing, Bristol, for a city that's apparently so hard, if commies rocked up in a conservative Christian town ordering us all to be deported, we'd be putting up a better fight than this.
Get behind it, guys. Lean into it.
Patriots, they fear us. They feel fear. What do you do with the school bully? You stand up to him and you give him a bloody nose. Today we show the entire world how pathetic and weak communists are as they meet Christian courage. No excuses, no diplomacy, no mercy, and no surrender. These people aren't used, citizens of Bristol, these people aren't used to being stood up to. This all ends when we say it ends. That's what it's all about. They survive off bullying, intimidation. That's how their business model works. It ends when we say it ends. Now here's some context for those people that don't understand what that plinth means and what happened nearly 5 years ago here to the day in Bristol. Try not to throw up as I tell you a story. In the wake of the riots of 2020 in June, police were praised for their handling of what has been described as largely peaceful protests. Largely peaceful, for deciding to not intervene. Police said it was a tactical decision to not intervene. Myself and millions across the world watched on in horror as the communists committed perhaps one of the biggest acts of violent disorder in British history, which led to hardly any arrests and the famous verdict of the Bristol Four being acquitted by a judge in court. Not one person served any jail time for their crimes following the events of June 2020. We all know what happened. Radical centrists get lost. Radical centrists, liberals suffering with narcissistic personality disorder, our indoctrinated youth and their commie bedfellows, the left-wing extremists who plague this and so many other towns and cities, coordinated their attack, put on balaclavas and descended en masse to rip down a statue and drag it to a river a significant distance from the scene of the crime where we stand now. Every single one of those thugs should have been arrested. Many will be in that crowd. Many will be in that crowd. And many will be in that crowd. Every single thug who partook in the violent disorder should have been arrested, and serious jail time should have been handed out under domestic terrorism. Either we have the rule of law, either we have law and order, or we don't.
Are you defending a slave trader?
Get lost! Get lost! I have a question for Somerset and Avon Police. I have a question for the hypocrites over here. I have a question for the far left terrorists. There is a tomb of Karl Marx in Highgate Cemetery in London. This is as offensive and immoral as it gets, and I want to bulldoze over it. Tell me, police, tell me, if I were to do that, if I was to rock up to Highgate Cemetery with thousands of patriots and bulldoze over Karl Marx's statue, would I be allowed? No. Would I be allowed? No. Would I be arrested? The police, two-tier police and two-tier justice, our courts, would throw absolutely everything at me. The police chiefs, the two-tier police chiefs and the two-tier officials who gave the order to stand down during the BLM riots of June 2020 should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law for colluding with domestic terrorists. I am absolutely sickened to be stood here today doing their job for them. Do you know what else? You're going home. You're going home. You're going home. You're going home. You're going. Right. This is where it gets really, really disturbing. I personally know ordained clergy, ministers, who actually backed the BLM riots. They backed the left-wing extremists. We are surrounded by cowards. We are surrounded by weaklings suffering with Stockholm Syndrome and cognitive dissonance. It is absolutely pathetic. The left only have their way based on threats, bullying and intimidation. How people in authority pander to them is utterly, utterly disgraceful. It is weak and it is pathetic. All our leaders have to do is to stand up to the mob, but they are too afraid. They aren't brave enough, so we have to do it. We all know what happened in June 2020, patriots. A foreign, disgusting, degenerate career criminal called George Floyd resisted arrest and died of an overdose of a lethal narcotic known as fentanyl. Millions of liberals cried a river about this here in Britain. We had to watch on as law enforcement cupped to left-wing terrorists rioting throughout the UK. Honestly, I could spit. Meanwhile, patriots are locked up for being conservative and Christians persecuted for being Christian in a Christian land. I am absolutely sick of the injustice. I am sick of the wickedness. I am sick of the mental illness that is communism. I am sick of left-wing terrorists getting away with murder. I am sick of the media, law enforcement and our judges not calling out what this is: domestic terrorism and facilitation by our police and our courts. It is time, patriots, time to put a leader in place who will round up these leftist fascists and send them home to countries like North Korea where they belong. It is time for justice. It is time to reclaim Britain. It is time to take our country back. Communist scum off our streets. Communist scum off our streets. Off our streets. Communist scum 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 off our streets.
So what's the point in that? Let's just put it to the British people about how we want the direction of travel to go for our country. People want to be polarising. They want open borders. They believe that man can become woman and woman can become man. They despise Christianity. They team up with the Islamists. But the Islamists have murderous intent on us. They're domestic terrorists. So let's send them home. Let's get rid of them. Protest has been great. Bristol is a far left nest, so you're never going to get more than 100 patriots turning up. You just aren't, because it is so dominated.
Is that how many there were today?
I don't know, you can see for yourself. So I'd say there's maybe 100 people that come to places like this because they're also aware of the fact that the police and law enforcement and the courts are on the side of the far left. So they're scared to come here, because why would you? Now we're into the subject of, well, the left have now created no-go zones in Britain. How is that fair? How is that okay for conservatives? How is that okay for people that once lived here, who have now been forced out of the area? How is that okay for people who want to come and be in a place like Bristol? Maybe they want to visit as a tourist, or maybe they've got friends and family here. This is exactly what migrants have done, and a classic example of that is East London. The natives didn't want to live there anymore because the migrants turned those areas into shitholes. So they left, they moved, because these people will live in degeneracy, debauchery, they'll live like rats. The commies will live like rats. They don't care, they have no values, no ethics, no morality, no Christianity. Whereas the conservative ideology tends to be a huge proponent of those things. That's it.
So a no-go zone is the place where people can't live?
A no-go zone is considered to be somewhere where you by definition wouldn't want to go there if you were law-abiding, or if you were conservative or patriotic, for example. And these are up and down the UK. They are up and down the UK, whether they be communist, far left, or Islamist. They are up and down the country. And it's also in our institutions as well.
You said the police was pro-left. What do you think that is?
So what year are we in? 5 years ago today, right? I'm presuming you were about 15 at the time. Yeah. You see that plinth there? There was a statue on that. Thousands of people came down here, masked up, rigged it up with rope, pulled it down. Have you ever pulled a statue down? Do you know how much that puppy weighed? It was all geared up. Have you ever tried to pull a statue down, mate? It's hundreds and hundreds of kilos. Pulled it down, right here, thousands of Antifa and communists and all these lefty scumbags, and they dragged it from here to the river, which is what? just over there. Half a mile, something like that. The police were told to stand down. They were told to stand down. They were told to not intervene. What are your thoughts? Should we be allowed to rip down statues? Should we be allowed to terrorise? Should we be allowed to conduct violent disorder? Do you know how many patriots have gone to jail for being patriotic, for being conservative, for things like free speech?
How many?
How many across the UK since the start of the country? Yeah. Where in the last few years, hundreds. And I know because I'm the guy that goes to court, and I'm the one that has to see their families break down and cry because their 18-year-old has gone to prison for essentially his right to freedom of speech. Like just how they are calling us Nazis. They're calling us Nazis because we want to close the borders. So yeah, no-go zones do exist. And in terms of violent disorder and two-tier policing and two-tier justice, right now, to the day, 5 years ago, this was all allowed. If you and I went and did something like that with 15, 20 other people, we'd be thrown straight in jail.
Yeah. Well, the opposition are calling you fascists.
Yeah.
How would you define a fascist? And are you a fascist?
So the way they throw around the word fascist is just, it is boring and it is so amateur as well. It's the opposite of professionalism. Fascism points towards authoritarianism. That's about as authoritarian as it gets. You see the black bloc and the masking up? That's as authoritarian as it gets. You see these people over here, and when I call out the fact that we need to have border control, they tell me that I'm crazy and a Nazi. That's as authoritarian as it gets. So fascism, these people's use of the word is pointing at authoritarianism. These people say that if you don't believe that a man can become a woman and a woman can become a man, then you're a Nazi. That's how ridiculous and poisoned and polluted and degenerate the modern day left have become.
So you're saying that they're stretching the definition of what fascism means?
Stretching it would be putting it mildly. Right, that's it for today, mate. Well done.
Just one more question. Where did you get the hat from?
Online at Turning Point.
Yeah. And what's your name, sorry?
So we don't know who I am. What's going on?
Sorry, man.
So yeah, you want to get onto the Turning Point website for one of these puppies, and I'm Nick Tenconi. I'm the leader of UKIP. All right.
Well, good talking to you, and
all right, mate.
Talk to you soon. Take care.
All right. Take care.
Somebody came up to me and asked me, okay, we're going to deport the illegal migrants abroad and the extremists abroad. He asked me which country we would deport them to. I didn't know the answer.
So we'd send them home.
I raised the point, a lot of people, we don't know where they come from. What's the plan?
A lot of people, do they?
Yeah, a lot of illegal migrants, they throw the documents away.
They know where they came from.
They know where they came. They won't tell us though.
Oh, that's fine. Then we'll put them on an island somewhere.
Right.
So, like for example, I see your question. So when we take back our country, if people don't comply, they'll wish they had.
Right.
The officers will be armed at detention.
Yeah.
And shackling, and when it comes to interrogation, they will not be given limitless amounts of time. It'll be, where do you want to go, pal? And for some people who don't have a criminal record, maybe it's been a bit of a mistake, we'll actually pay to send them home. We're going to be very, very kind about this. There'll be an awful lot of people where we say, you're going, your mum's Bangladeshi, your dad's Pakistani, where do you want to go? Because the flight leaves in half an hour and you're not coming back, mate.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's the lateral thought process you need.
Yeah.
That's our guy.
Now Antifa's running after him.
Yeah, he's running after him.
Yeah, look at the horses straight in.
Yeah. Now they're going to go and jump that guy.
How are we going to get out of here? Walk with me. Where are we going to go? Tell me now. Oh, there's a risk down there. Come on. How are we getting that down? Listen, I've got a coach to catch, alright? Got a coach to catch. Can somebody please help me and walk with me? Keep me safe. Oh.
I don't know what modernity has done, but it's done what it's done. We've got to go, the pendulum needs to swing all the way back the other way. And UKIP is offering a common sense, sensible way out. Because if you go further right than UKIP, you'll end up with your ethno-nationalists, your white power lot, your neo-Nazis.
We're going to carry the stuff up.
So you want strong Christian conservative values. The word centre has no place in the fight back when you're at war, which is what we are massively involved in. So think about UKIP, guys. We're standing everywhere. Good people need to, obviously you need to be a UK citizen. Good people need to stand up and say, I'm taking the country back. Because when you go to vote in 4 years' time, if you haven't got a candidate, you can't vote UKIP. So people have to step forward and, you know, become politicians, basically. That's it. And that's easier said than done. Because no one wants to get their hands dirty anymore.
Are you wrapping up now? Is that what's happening?
Pretty much, yeah. We've got, I think that I thought they'd chuck about 500. Maybe there's 1,000 between there and behind over there. We've had a decent enough turnout. It's problematic to do the march, but obviously we've got our banner. So
yeah, I was kind of wondering. You guys are kind of sensitive, surrounded.
Yeah, well, we knew this was going to happen. We knew we weren't going to get our spot on the Cenotaph. The left always get their way. It's very difficult in places like this. We can do our march, but if we've got 50 people behind the banner and there's 1,000 lefties, it's problematic. And that was always going to be the case in somewhere like Bristol. You know, if the good people of Bristol don't want to take their country back, if they don't want to take their towns and cities back, if they want to keep it like this.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Pleasure. Nice chatting to you guys. God bless. Alright guys, let's stand up to the bullies as well, you know, I'm sure you don't hide your beliefs, but sometimes it's easier.
I mean, eventually you're going to run out of steam, right? It's much easier to express it.
Yeah, a cowardice gets us nowhere. I agree, but bless you anyway. Alright guys.
Yeah. I suppose that would be a good time to end it. So we didn't get to march, unfortunately, because the left was just being too problematic. The police were dealing with them as best they could, but they're right out of control. They're really out of control, so we didn't get to march. But we still turned up, still said a few words, and I guess the ending thing to say is vote UKIP. Want to save our country? Get Nick in power. Vote UKIP. And like and subscribe to British media while at it. And I'll see you in the next video sometime soon. Take care all. Thanks for watching.